What's up guys, this is NDC. Now I'm going to be telling you my top 10 favourite albums of this year, the top 10 best albums in my opinion. Remember that this is my opinion, so don't get mad if the order is bad or if you think it's bad. So coming in at number 10, which I think is an underrated album, is Ski Master Slum God with his album 11th Dimension. I will say though, overall I think this album is pretty good. There are a lot of mid songs on this album, like I would say like a quarter of the album is mid and the rest is like pretty good or like decent. This album is nothing crazy, but like there's like no other albums that dropped this year from my favorite artists that were good in my opinion. So this is why Ski Mask 11th Dimension is number 10. But some of my favorite songs off this album would be Earwax, Wake Up, and that other one, I forgot the name, it'll be on the screen. But when he performed that live, it was pretty fire in my opinion. But Ski Master Slum God 11th Dimension is ranked number 10. Coming in at number 9, this may surprise you for it being on my list in the first place, but it would be Lil Uzi Vert with Eternal Attack. This album is overhated. I honestly feel like it's a decent album. Like I said, I feel like it's better than 11th Dimension by a little bit. EA2 has grown on me a little bit over time. But when I first heard the album, there was like 7 songs I liked. But about like half the album I like, half the album I still think is mid. But my favorite song from this album would probably be Pars on the Mars. Always been my favorite since I first heard this album. But Lil Uzi Vert's Eternal Attack 2 is ranked number 9. Coming in at number 8 is Lil Tecca with his album Plan A. Pretty good album in my opinion, pretty solid album, definitely has some misses, but I feel like the production and overall like quality of this album is pretty good. Nothing crazy, but it's just this, like it's a Tecca album, like what more can you expect from a Tecca album in my opinion? Like this is what you got, this is what Tecca delivered. There are some mid songs, but the singles we got for this album were amazing in my opinion. Definitely a solid album. I haven't replayed this album too much, same with the last albums I've talked about, but Lil Tecca Plan A is a solid album and it's ranked number 7. Coming in at number 7, which isn't an album but it's an EP, would be Trippy Redd with his collab EP with Machine Gun Kelly with John the Sad Boy. I know I'm going to get hated on for this, but I don't care because I'm a Trippy Redd fan. He's my second favorite artist of all time, and I feel like this is a solid EP from the both of them. And I'm not even a fan of Machine Gun Kelly, but he did his thing on this EP, and this EP is overhated for sure. I don't think there's any bad song on this EP. There may be like 1, maybe 2 mid songs, but as an overall EP, it's super high quality. Like Trippy Redd did his thing, like emotional Trippy and the like sad Trippy. He did his thing. Machine Gun Kelly also did his thing. I feel like Trippy Redd and Machine Gun Kelly are an underrated duo in my opinion. And I feel like this EP deserves more love and people should actually give it a chance instead of hating on it all the time. But Trippy Redd, John the Sad Boy is ranked number 7 in my opinion. Coming in at number 6, which will surprise you, is Juice WRLD, The Party Never Ends. I do feel like this album is, as an overall album, it's mid. But like, there are some high quality songs on this album. And like, Juice WRLD is my favorite rapper, so like, this obviously has to be on the list. But my favorite songs from this album would be Empty Out Your Pockets, KTM Dripped, Cuffed, and Misfits. But as an overall album, I do still believe and still think it's mid. Even the mid songs are still better than like all the songs on the albums I previously talked about. And I may be biased because once again, Juice WRLD is my favorite rapper. But this is why it's number 6 on the list and not like number 1, because that would be like full on me tweaking the fuck out. So now we're getting into the top 5, which I will talk about. Like number 5 to like number 2. This list could literally be like in any order you want. And it was really hard ranking them and putting them in order. So don't get mad because I do still believe this is the final order I would put them in. But you can honestly change any order from rank number 5 to number 4. But coming in at number 5 would be Tyler, the Creator with Chromacopia. I'm not the biggest Tyler fan. I'm still a fan of him, but like this album is beautiful. Like as an overall album, it's beautiful. And if you're gonna listen to like this album, you would have to listen to it the whole way through. I wouldn't really say you could like pick certain songs to listen to. Like you still can, but like you can't. Does that even make sense? Like this is such a high quality. Like as an overall album, I still would say it's probably the best on this whole entire list. But I'm not a big Tyler the Creator fan, like I said. But hearing this album live next year when I see him live would be fire. but Tyler the Creator, Chromacopia is ranked number 5. Coming at number 4 is Coaches with Why Always Me. I love Coaches. This album is amazing. No misses, maybe like one misses, but it's just another Coaches album. Like, you always get hyped and turn up when listening to Coaches. Nothing more. Like, you just got what you expected from a Coaches album. This album has always puts you in a good mood, always makes you happy. My favorite songs from this album would be Hookman, Track 9, and Face It. Like, top 3 best songs on the album in my opinion. I do hope Coaches does tour Australia one day because this album was amazing, but that's just my opinion. Coming in at number 3 is DC the Don with his album Rebirth. Before I made this list, like I've always said, DC the Don had album of the year, but he actually doesn't. But it's still top 3, so can you complain? Can you hate on me for it? You probably will, but such a beautiful album. I still think there's misses on this album, which is why it's ranked number 3. I'm not the biggest DC the Don fan. If I was a big DC the Don fan, he would probably be ranked higher, but as a casual DC the Don fan, putting him at number 3 is still a valid list. But as an overall album, it sounds beautiful as. But the best song on this album would be Holy Matrimony. Did I even say that right? But this song always gets me hyped. But DC the Don, Rebirth, would be ranked number 3. Coming at number 2 would be Glaive with May It Never Falter. You may not even know this artist, but I've been a fan of him since like 2021 for like 3-4 years now. He's always been one of my favorite artists since I first listened to him. And like, his albums just keep getting better and better. But May It Never Falter is my second favorite album of this year, with my favorite songs from this album being 60,000 ISK and Every Dog Has a Stay and I Know and Fodrian. But like, I just love how Glaive always tries like not new styles, but like new styles, if that makes sense, on each project. But this album is amazing. No misses. Besides the last track, I'm not really a big fan of it. It's like decent to me. Still need to give it a chance though. But Glaive, May It Never Falter is ranked number 2 for album of the year. Coming in at number 1 would be Post Malone with F1 Trillion. This album is amazing, and I don't even with country like that, but this shit fire. Like, as an overall whole album, this has no misses, and I don't even like country like that, but this made me appreciate country more, and like gave me like understand country more, made me appreciate country more, like give it a chance. But no misses on this album. But my only issue on this album was that it was too many features. I wish there was more solo songs. Like there was only 2 solo songs. Like, most of the features were good, but that's when we talk about the deluxe, which came out like a couple days later after the normal album came out, and we got like what, 8 new songs which were all solo. So that made me like appreciate and love this album even more, because we got solo Post Malone country songs, which just proves that Post Malone doesn't need features to have a good country song. Like, as an overall album, this is just so beautiful, amazing, it puts you in a good mood, and it just proves that Post Malone can do any genre and still sound good, still be successful, still have people love it, and still have fans be a fan of him, and still like do commercially good wise, sell good wise, and everything. This is why Post Malone is F1 Trillion, is album of the year. But I may be biased because Post Malone is in my top 5 favorite artists of all time, and it has been like that since like 2018. But this is why Post Malone, F1 Trillion, is album of the year in my opinion. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with my list, but let me know your top 5 favorite albums of this year. I definitely want to see everyone's opinions on this year as an overall opinion for music based with albums. But yeah, check out my channel for more videos, like and subscribe for more. It's been DC, see ya.